Okay, I have some strong words about the latest Asylum Life update. Um, and it's not positive. It's more constructive criticism that I feel and that I want to explain. Um, and just generally how I feel about the state of this update. Now, I'm just going to summarize my words into I don't like it. There's several reasons why. Again, it's fine that it makes Chairman more appealing, but it's an update that is just also to just sell FD, which is again making Chairman more appealing and selling FD isn't really that bad. Like, yeah, I get it. It's annoying for us as people who play, but the game updates weekly. We can just wait another week. It's not like we're waiting a month or a year, or in the case of like GD where we were waiting for like I think only 7, 8 years for 2.2. It's 2 weeks. It's 1 week. We can wait a week for an update, but it's also the fact that FSD was just not implemented very well. Um, I'll be honest. Sorry. I'll be honest with you here. FSD just plays like orderly, except you get a better weapon. That's it. That is it. And your abilities don't even change. If you're playing command, you still have your whistle. Except this time you get a flashy new weapon that literally every single FSD team gets, so you don't feel special. Your inventory stays the same, you just lose your primary weapon and get another, and they call that FSD. You can't even change the way you look unless you have custom clothing, which I guess is fine. But at the same time, the stuff that you get from wearing, so the stuff that you get from like being FSD isn't like you can't use them as base like as like a normal orderly, which I don't like because they have some really cool stuff out there that I would love to decorate my character with. But no, you have to be FSD to use them. Great. And next, I want to explain more about how I'm very disappointed at the implementation of this update. Like, yeah, the first thing that I said, I'm disappointed about that. But I'm also disappointed about the fact that in order to play FSD, you have to go through a lot. Fine things have to be in line for you to even get a chance to play FSD, right? The cooldown for the lockdown is an hour and a half, which isn't bad. I don't think it's bad, right? It's fine, right? But FSD is pretty overpowered. But uh, yeah, I don't think it's that bad, right? And then you need somebody who has FD, which is an almost $11, £10 Game Pass, which is super expensive. You're not going to expect many people to have that. You also need to expect them to have chairperson, which there is a chance they might not have, right? And then you have to wait for the chance for them to pick lockdown. There's not a guaranteed chance that they'll pick lockdown. And then on top of the guaranteed chance, on top of the chance that they won't pick lockdown, if they do pick it, if all four things, all four stars in the sky align, you need to wait for the fifth one to align, and that being every single person in the server choosing for a lockdown to happen. If that doesn't happen, I mean, if it fails, then no lockdown, no FSD. Yeah, yeah. That's really all I can say. And That's why I'm just really disappointed in this implementation. It's something that you can only play every now and again. Everybody just feels the same. Yeah, you get different amounts of HP, you get, resistances and stuff, but they could just, I don't know, make it its own sub team. I think making its own sub team or a team that you unlock by retiring orderly is better, right? And in the teaser, they teased to us an orderly holding a stun stick and a riot control. Can that be seen in the game? No. Genuinely, I think it's best to make FSD either its own sub team or its own team that you get by retiring orderly. Because FS like orderly again, it's kind of in the spot where it has to be weak so that you get your money's worth, right? So it's in this place where it's weak because EPU has to be stronger than it that you can get your money's worth. But once you've you know completed orderly and you don't want to pay for EPU, there's no way to buff your strength, right? EPU is, in my opinion, really overpowered and it overshadows orderly quite a bit. I think that they could fix this by making FSD maybe its own sub team or team unlocked by retiring. If you're good at orderly, you'll probably be good at FSD. And so if FSD becomes its own team by retiring orderly, again, the connection between orderly and FSD, there is a connection between that, so retiring orderly to get FSD isn't that bad of an idea. And also with FSD, FSD is basically just the non-pay to win way to get stronger, to get a strength like that of EPU, and maybe even higher. In fact, maybe if it's not by just retiring orderly, maybe even retiring either EPU or orderly, you can get FSD, right? That's part of my opinion. I'm a bit tired. Next, bodyguards. Bodyguards, bodyguards, bodyguards. What is my opinion on bodyguards? They're meh. They aren't exactly the greatest, but they aren't the worst. I wouldn't consider playing one over just playing orderly because you can't arrest somebody as a bodyguard, right? The main thing that you do as an orderly or as an EPU is arrest. And what I know, yeah, bodyguard is for all staff. Wait, is it for all staff? It's just generally for staff. I do believe. I'm not sure if it's specifically for like the guarding ones. But in my opinion, because you can't arrest someone, bodyguards feels like a downgrade, like a significant downgrade, because you have to kill them, which can, which sorry, yeah, which if you're playing like if you're doing a 1v1, a 1v2, chances maybe even a 1v3, you maybe could be able to do that. But if you're dealing with like a 1v5, you're not going to be able to do that. A guard team is supposed to be able to be there to make it so that if you are, um, understart, well, let's say you're doing like a 1v8, right? You're supposed to be able to make as much progress as you can. You probably wouldn't be doing a 1v8, but you know what I mean, right? I do not like this update in the slightest. What else is new about this update? Okay, aside from some bug fixes and the new skin pack and emote pack, that's about it. I was really, really disappointed by this update because I felt so hyped by it and I stayed up so late for it. I ruined my sleep schedule for it, only to be met with an update that I genuinely do not like and think needs to be changed immediately. And I'm not the only person who feels that same way. Like, just search it, like, if you go into the Asylum Life server and you just search up the word update, you're gonna see quite a lot, right? So, like, some I see somebody in here saying, ins- um, and then the update is pure slot instead the dead. Oh, hold on, I feel like I'm missing something. Yeah, and the update is more slot. Tease a new team only for it to be an event team. That's it. And then there's also something that said one event every 90 minutes and a bodyguard that nurse HP 200 or gives damage control each shield. Tease a team with zero context and mute people who are annoyed about it being locked behind a stupid event. The event isn't even natural. If nobody has level 100 FD, it's taken up by people who aren't bothered. It might as well not exist. Same event who you need to play as staff sided, by the way. Not sure. Um, and then, yeah, instead the devs tease a pic of a new team that we all thought was a new sub team due to the fact that a new team comes out every time they do this, but they released a whole update focused on level 100 FD. I don't know what LMOA means. Whole as update delayed for hours for level 100 slot. Yeah, people are very upset, and I don't blame them. Again, I genuinely don't blame them because when I thought it was a new um, sub team, I was so excited. Like I genuinely thought it was going to be a new sub team. Like you heard the excitement that I felt in that video that I like published earlier when I saw it. I was unable to speak. I was jittery. I don't get like that. Like that doesn't normally happen to me. And all of that happened that we got felt like an unfulfilled promise. Like I get that they can't tell us what the content of the update is before it happens, but making us all believe it was like a new sub team and then letting us down, making it an event sub team, making it so that you need money to be able to like the people in order to play it. You need people who have money to do it. You have to basically like leech off of people to play it. Why not just make FSD its own team and make it so you have to pay for it? And while they're at it, they might as well make it a bajillion Robux to be able to afford it. Because again, the game passes in this game are like absolutely expensive, they're extortionate. But that's just unfortunately been normalized. So, I'll leave you to think what you think about the update. If we ignore all of the things that I said, I think that the update is nice. It is nice, right? Again, bodyguards being there for FD is a good thing because FD has like terrible health. So having somebody who's there who's going to protect them is fine. I mean, I thought that's what EPU was for, but I guess EPU I guess just does its own thing. But yeah, I'll leave you to think what you think about the update, about the backlash. Yeah. Anyways, I don't want to leave everybody on a negative note. So, bye bye, guys. I love you. Don't forget to smile.